Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, Sped Adventures. I'm Jake Spins, welcoming you guys back to another lovely day on my gaming and unboxing channel, where today we have some more Sonic Great Eastern Plush line unboxing for you guys. And once again, I am very hyped. The character that we're going to be unboxing today is one that I've actually really grown to love in the last few years, partially for being cute, but also just partially for realizing how decent of a character he used to be and how much the character has grown. Now, I do say used to be because a certain recent game that I have grown to slowly despise a little bit because I felt wronged by it has wronged the character. That game is specifically Sonic Forces, and the character that we're going to be talking about today is Bag. No, we have to open it. I actually ended up having as least of these open as possible so that I could get my first reactions on what the plush looked like. The last one, though, my mom accidentally opened, so I wasn't able to do that. But here we go. Today's character is Tails Miles per Hour, and oh my gosh, dude. That both looks really freaking cute. Sorry about that. I completely forgot that I had laundry that I still had to pick up. But anyway, let's jump back into the video. So, first impressions of this guy, he looks really cute. And what I was about to say is, like, the eyes look a little bit, like, jutted up a bit too much. So it looks like he's hyped up on some coffee or something. But, man, I'm very excited to actually have Tails in this plush line, because just like Eggman in the last episode, for some reason they hadn't done a plush of Tails, like modern Tails, and they finally have. They did like a Sonic X plush of him, and then they also did a classic, and I think that's why the modern line didn't have that. But I mean, they also did a bunch of Sonics, so there's that, which I know he's the brand, but I just think it's funny. Alright, so Tails Miles per Hour first appeared inside of Sonic 2 in 1992, being the new shiny character alongside Sonic being his sidekick, where in the game he could fly around, grab onto him, he could fly you to other ledges, and you could play as him in two-player mode. That's right, this guy got heavily screwed over. But don't worry, because in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or Sonic 3, he was actually playable. Sonic Knuckles, he wasn't, but when you combine them, he was playable. But guess what? Before you get too excited, he was screwed over once again, and the only way to get Super Tails is by getting all the Super Emeralds. So I guess that means if you can become Super, you have to hit puberty before you can actually use the Chaos Emeralds instead of the Hyper Emeralds to become Super. Don't worry, Tails. In just a few years, you'll be able to be Hyper. Except Hyper is never coming back for so many reasons. But, I keep saying but, don't worry, because later down the line, inside Sonic Adventure, he finally had his day. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Tails from Sonic Adventure is my favorite version of Tails. Now, before all of you guys go in the comments and you're like, wow, it's biased because it's the first Sonic game you ever played. One of them, it's your childhood favorite. Listen, that is true. However, the reason why I actually like Tails inside of Sonic Adventure is summed up to character growth. Tails starts off the journey as being very dependent on Sonic, as he always has been. He's very terrified. He's like, oh my god, there's this monster out there. I don't know what to do. I need Sonic. And halfway through the journey, he gets split up with Sonic, and he realizes he has to do this on his own. He has to meet back up with Sonic, and eventually, he has to help Amy, and he gets split up with Sonic again, and he has his hero moment. And his hero moment is literally saving the entirety of Station Square and realizing that he might be scared, but he is still courageous enough to save everybody. And that goes on into Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. He ends up making a plan of his own to help stop Eggman and stop the Ark from basically destroying the world. So, yes, I love Adventure Tales. And one reason I love him so much more is because they basically retconned that entire character development in Sonic Forces. Yeah, that one hurt me. And honestly, like around that time was when I started realizing that I really liked Tails. Not only as a character, but playing him in the 2D games. A lot of people love playing as Knuckles, but you can fly all over the place as Tails. You can explore. Yes, he's the easy mode of the classic games. I understand that. But like there's just something so nice about being able to just fly everywhere and discover new paths just because you have so much freedom. I love it. Unfortunately, though, character development was not the only issue when it comes to Tails, because literally, despite having so many Sonic characters, multiple playable characters and multiplayer pretty much went by the wayside before 2010 ended. And yes, before you say something, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric did have multiplayer. And yes, I did kind of forget about that. But I mean, was anybody thinking of Boom? Maybe. I don't know. No judgment. And of course, last but not least, we come all the way full circle with the Sonic movie 2. Sonic 2 movie? Sonic 2 the movie? I don't know. It's one of those three. I don't know the exact name. But that is the sequel to the first Sonic movie, and we're getting Tails, where he's also getting screwed over because the plot is about Knuckles. All jokes aside, I'm so excited for that movie. We're going to get so much cool merchandise from that, and we're also going to get, hopefully, a fantastic movie. It already looks amazing graphically, just story-wise. Oh, I'm excited. Very, very excited. And now, I believe it is time to actually open the Plush. So, time to fly high. Whee! Oh, he's gone. That's sad. Good thing he has a fly limit. Alright, so let's look at the adorable little Tails. And let's fix his little comb over. Yeah, no, oh, okay. Okay, there we go. Cool. He could be cutely emo or something. I'm not really sure. So first thing that I do want to mention is the debate of the century. If you're a Sonic fan, maybe. So if you are a Sonic Plush fan, let me know in the comment section down below, should Tails be yellow or should he be orange? Now, you might be wondering, why am I asking this? So the interesting thing is that for the Sonic Plush line, there have been times where they have been orange and yellow, even in the exact same line. The Toy Factory, my Tails was yellow and my brother's was richly orange, and then sometimes they go in the middle. I believe sometimes in games too, like, I want to say Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, he was a little more yellowish, but I could be wrong. Here it looks like he's that like golden, like closer to orange in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Another interesting thing is that every single plush line deals with this differently. Some do a 3D thing where it's just like, whoop, and it's very stiff, not very flowy. Some do it where it's just flat felt like this, and it just flops. It's not staying up, nothing's happening with it. And then others take different approaches. It's always been a very strange thing, an interesting thing to see how each company deals with this, as this part is in both classic and modern Tails designs. Some even do like a puffy, fluffy thing. Like if you've ever seen that old Sally Acorn plush, or Blaze's like wrists for GE, they sometimes do that kind of thing. But thankfully for Tails, they didn't do the fluffy thing. Though, I don't know, the flat thing, the 3D thing, maybe the 3D thing would have worked. Sort of a middle ground. But either way, I'm just happy we have the dude. So, other thing that we should mention, just because we're already on the topic, is that they also have different ways of dealing with the little cheek tufts. His little foxy whiskers, I guess. No. His little fox whisker. His little fox whiskers. See, this is why you don't record when you're tired. Because you just derp. You just derp. It's so unfortunate. But anyway, though, let's continue on with the cuteness, because he's got the center smile, and it looks so adorable with those gigantic coffee eyes, and it's beautiful. His muzzle is also that perfect white, which I'm very nervous about like dropping him anywhere, because if that gets dirty, that's going to be like so hard to clean. But it's that like hardened felt type, and of course the smile. It's actually not like printed on there. It's just a little bit of a string, just whoop, right in there. And then his little gumdrop nose is one of those hard plastics, but it's a little bit softer than most of the hard plastics that I see. Usually those, when you tap them, you even hear like a little noise where it's like ding ding. But this guy, it feels like softer. I don't know how else to describe that. The entire plush is also like a lighter felt than the white there. And then the eyes, of course, is that rough grainy texture, rough grainy felt that all the GE plush do have. You do have the like smooth, shiny part of the eye. Now I'm not gonna lie, when he's close up, let me know. Is he cute or is he creepy? Because I'm getting both vibes. I don't know why. I don't know why. But for his little ears, you have the foam route. Now the foam route is pretty much where they just take the ear and it's just two pieces of foam on there with the felt on the outside. Now, I guess I'm realizing that Tails varies a lot between plush makers, because a lot of them will also do the 3D puff ears, or, they'll do a little bit inside and have the others be backed by something, but they, as I said, they went the foam route, which I do actually really like this route, because it's fairly durable and it doesn't really take away from the rest of the plush. Now, technically his ears should be bigger, however, I actually really like how his proportions are, and they work really, really well. This is also probably my favorite Tails face on a plush, as much as I'm joking around with it. But other than that, we do have the back, and it wouldn't be Tails if he didn't have his famous tails. Say it with me, some plush do this differently. So sometimes they end up doing this, and yeah, that's not very fun. For a collector's plush, I totally would understand them doing that though. Some do it where it's together, but these guys, they let his tails go in the wind. So if he runs, they flop. And I love when they do that. Because listen, I'm not gonna play around with these, but if you did get this plush and you just wanted to have a little bit of fun, you could just have him wag his tails, or you can pretend to spin them a little bit. Figures will also do stuff like this, and some will even do it where it's like a little spin thing, like it's his run cycle, and I love his run cycle too. It's just so adorable. He's like lightly hovering and he's just flying on the ground. Tails, he's just so wholesome, man. He's just so freaking wholesome. I can't with this fox, because he's cute. Alright, so let's look at the actual details. So, for the white part of the fluff, you have the little lobster claw, if you will. Usually in games they do look a little bit softer, however, a lot of them actually do the tails like this, where it's pretty much like a little bit of a sleeve, and then you have the little bit of a lobster claw flame type thing, and it's not very fluffy very often, Though I guess to be fair, in the games, it's actually pretty, like, condensed, so it makes sense. Going away from the tails, I know, away from the tails, but also in front. I guess that works in front of the tails. Yeah, that works in two separate ways. We've got his little belly design. I don't know what you really want to call it, but for Tails, this always reminded me of the emblems from Sonic Adventure, just because you've got the like ring circle, and then you've got the little wings at the side, which for these, they're also just like this. Now, you might be saying, I watched your Shadow the Hedgehog plush videos, and you said that you didn't like how they did that and you wish they did it like the fluffy route. Are you gonna say that for this? And my answer is no. I actually think it really works for Tails because you don't have that split in the middle. For Shadow, it's not that one felt, and it should be a little bit more 3D. But for Tails, it's very subtle. It's a very subtle detail that's just there to like pop out a little bit and give him a little bit more extra for his design. Going from there, you do have his arms, which they're very short in length, which they should be. I mean, he is 8. And then you have his gloves, which are actually fairly big. I don't know how he actually works in his workshop or on the tornado like this, but apparently he makes it work. But Tails' gloves are fairly simple. They're just white, and then on the bottoms, you have these little gray rings on them. Going from there, we go down to the last little bit, which is his legs, about a little bit shorter than his arms, but it still looks really nice. And from there, we have his shoes, his kicks. Why didn't I say kicks? I do this. My brain doesn't say kicks. I'm fired. I'm fired. Anyway, though, looking on the, I'm so awkward. I'm so freaking awkward. Okay, so looking on the kicks, we've got the little sock right there, little sock sleeve. We also have underneath that the little bit of gray. Now, in the games, that would probably be a little bit more pronounced, but it doesn't look too bad there. It does look a little bit like he's got his socks just... They're fake socks, is what it looks like on the plush. So it looks a little bit silly to me. But all of this is pretty much a hard fabric. You've got the red in the back, which you might be able to see a little bit of an indent of the white on top of it, which is how I know the red is layered on there. And those, like I said, those are both the hard fabric, kind of like the eyes. And then on the bottom, you have a little bit of a gray rim, which is fairly soft, and then the hard softness on the sole. What's that face? And of course, last but not least, you have the tag. Very generic. Sonic is now called Tails, and this is now Tails brand. Yeah, that'd be right, except for the person getting the spin-off show is Knuckles. So once again, Tails has been screwed over. I don't know, that's just the catchphrase of the video at this point. Alright though guys, if you enjoyed my main man, this sidekick, Tails miles per hour, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section down below, have you gotten this plush, and what do you guys think of this plush? I've asked you guys so many questions in this video, so you guys are going to have to write like half an essay, but hey, it's not required. So I guess you don't technically have to. God, I need sleep. I need sleep. Anyway though guys, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to share this out with your brother, mother, sister, father, iguana, and I hope to see you guys in the next one, where I can hopefully properly speak. Alright guys, let's zoom it in, and I'll see you next time. God, that's so awkward. We gotta get a good thumbnail of him, you know? Usually the best thumbnails that work, the GE and other plush popular ones, If you do the perfect zoom in, if you do it perfectly for the plush, it will work so well. I think the contrast of the cuteness of Tails with the skull in the background will definitely make a few people curious. I just didn't feel like moving the bag. I'm sorry. Alright. Keep Joe safe. Bye, guys.